Hey, comic kings and queens out there. Brian back, and it's best day of the week. It's Wednesday, new comic book day. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna show you the new books I bought today, and I've got some stuff that's come in from eBay that I ordered a bit ago that's just now coming in, and maybe I think it's also some stuff that I ordered a while ago and I've had and just haven't shown on video yet. So I'm going to start with this week's books. Um, the first one is Cataclysm: The Ultimate's Last Stand. Um, yeah, this is one that's going to go in my read it later pile because I've mentioned that I'm trying to get. I want to wait till I have all of these Cataclysm books to read at one time. Next is Superior Spider-Man issue 26. Here we go. It's the Hobgoblin and Green Goblin trading blows on the cover. This is going to go in my read it soon pile. Next up is Thunderbolts issue 21. I think it's a Greg Land cover because it says Land down here. Ooh, oh, there it is. So yeah, it's issue 21, and so you notice they didn't put a number 1 up here or a number 2 up here when they last month they had a big fat number 1 and listing what would be the intro to the story arc. So I'm not, the whole Marvel thing with putting number 1s everywhere is kind of, they really need to talk to somebody in there, whoever's making that decision. It's a poor decision, and I wish they would rethink it. Next up, I have Uncanny X-Force issue 17. This will go in my read it when I get to it pile. Oh, Thunderbolts is in my read it soon pile. Next up, I have something coming to you from Fraction, Bradshaw, and Fabella. It is issue 2 of Inhumanity. Medusa looks like she's holding up a rock, so I think this is probably going to go in my when I get to it pile. Now this is definitely going into my read it soon pile. It's Uncanny Avengers 16. I've been enjoying this book since the very first issue. There's one thing that does kind of like make me scratch my head. It's that I don't understand what the big deal is with the Wasp. I don't understand why she has such a dislike for Rogue. I could see if it was Miss Marvel giving Rogue all the attitude, because I think, I mean, after what she did to her way back in Avengers 10, I could see her still holding a little bit of a grudge, but at the same time, I guess she's worked with the X-Men since then. Maybe she doesn't harbor such those feelings anymore, but I still think I still don't understand why it's Wasp that's giving Rogue such a hard time. This next one's going to go into my read it soon pile. It's number 11 of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, I don't understand why it has number 1 for the Trial of Jean Grey when they have it on last week's All New X-Men. At the very least, they could have put a big fat number 2 here, but whatever. So that's my that's going to my read it today file. This next book is for my son. It's issue 2 of Night of the Living Deadpool. I might read it, someday when I'm bored, but probably won't be anytime soon. And next I have, again for my son, Damien and Son of Batman, issue 4 of 4. I like the cover. It's one of the Kubert kids. I have kind of been sneaking into this one, reading it a little bit when the boy's not around, and I like it. It's pretty good. And another book for him is Teen Titans number 27. I like the artwork on this one a lot. I haven't been reading it, but the covers are pretty nice. I like them. It reminds me of Brett Booth. Actually, it is Brett Booth. Yeah. his name's down here really small. So yeah, the cover at least is Brett Booth. This next book, it's issue 2 of Dead Boy Detectives. I didn't get issue 1, so I'm not sure why it was in my pull box. So I guess now I'm just gonna have to go find issue 1 and check it out. It looks interesting. A lot of the Vertigo titles I find to be interesting. So I'm gonna put this in my read it when I get to it pile because I don't have issue number 1, so I'm just gonna hold off on that for a little bit. Now, these next two are. It's a good week for Image. You know what though? It's not a good week for Valiant. This is like the non-Valiant comic book week, and I don't understand why they set it up that way. You'd think that somebody there would have been like, oh, we got a week every month where we don't have any books out. People will forget all about us. We got to have another book out. So we'll see. Yeah, the first one is actually both of these books from Image. I really, really am enjoying, especially Black Science issue. This is issue 3, but issue 1 and 2, I really like. I don't have any, and I've never read any of those weird science and weird fantasy and books from EC from the 50s. But they look, you know, these a lot of these newer books coming out like this, Rocket Girl, some other ones I can't think of off the top of my head, but they have a real, you know, science fiction feel to them, or they obviously, I mean, it's not feel to it, it is science fiction. It's really, oh, Trillium is another one. It's a Vertigo book that I'm really enjoying. It's a whole science fiction time travel thing. But yeah, I'm really enjoying those books. This is definitely going to my read it as soon as possible pile. And the next Image book I've got is East of West, issue 9. I've been enjoying this book so far. I like the artwork. The story's pretty good. I like the almost minimalist feel to the art. I like how the covers are, and they've got white, but usually the other image on the cover is usually monochromatic, and I've mentioned several times that I like monochromatic covers. So that's everything I bought new this week, and I'm gonna show you what my favorite cover of the week so far, and it's actually Cataclysm, The Ultimate's Last Stand. I'm gonna guess that I think it's Bagley on the cover. He did the cover. I'm having trouble reading it, but I like the cover. I think this is really cool. You know, probably Miles Morales there in the Spider-Man costume over Captain America. So this is the cover that I like best this week. All right, so that's the new books. I've got 3 purchases I made off of eBay that I don't think I've shown you guys yet. I'm looking around for them all. All right, I found them all. Now, the first purchase I made off of eBay, or of these books, the one that was the oldest one was Marvel Superheroes featuring Captain Marvel, number 13. And here it is. Let's see if we. Oh, stupid glare. The glare is strong on that one. Okay, so. Anyways, it's okay. That's the best. That's the glare's gone there. Anyway, this one, this books like this are the reason that I keep the Overstreet Price Guide on my desk by my computer, because I paid for this one. Because it's the first appearance of Carol Danvers, and I think I bought this. I think I was tipped off to this one by I think it was Ben Crew mentioned it in one of his videos, so I ended up paying for this one. But the guy had a buy it now price, and then he also had make a best offer, and his buy it now price was like $276, and I looked in the book and the 9.2 value. Excuse me. Anyways, the 9.2 near mint value in Overstreet is like 135. So I was like, I offered him $75, and he came back with like $250. I'm like, come on, man. So I made him one more offer. I'm like, look, 9.2 value on this book is 135 in Overstreet Price Guide. Like, I'll give you $100 because I don't think it's quite there. I don't think it's quite a 9.2. And he took it. So, or he accepted that offer. And so, yeah, don't. That's the thing about eBay, man. I think there are people that just throw shit up there. Like, they'll have a knowledge of the books, but at the same time, I think they're counting on us, the buyers, not really knowing what the book is worth according to the price guide. And I understand it's a price guide, and so it's just a suggested price to buy it, to pay for it. But if they're throwing out $275 for a book and somebody's paying it, well, eventually that's going to raise the guide price. But if they know that if they're aware that you know what the price guide says about a book, then I think a lot of times they're much more likely to be realistic when you make them an offer. And so, yeah, this is a pretty cool book. It's got really sharp corners, especially on the inside corners are really sharp, which I know the cover is where most of the value of the book comes from, but it's pretty good. I'm going to put this aside, and I ordered this next bunch of books from 1, 2, 3, 5. Oh, okay, 6 books. I ordered them from Heroes Haven, and they're out of Tampa, Florida. And they sent me a flyer with my books. So, hey, if you're interested in... There they are. I originally... they were having a sale, and a lot of their books were like $1. And even some of the higher price books, like would be normally, $15 or a $10 book, they were putting it up for $5. So they had a lot of books going for $1, $1.25, stuff like that. So, but the thing is like in each individual auction, they would say shipping $3, and $1 for each additional book, and then it was 50 cents or up to 50 cents for each book after. So your first book was $3, and then if you had 10 books, it was 50 cents for the next 9 books. And then it was like $3 for the first book, 25 cents for anything over, for anything over 25 books. So that's like, fuck it, that's a deal. I'll take that. So I was just going scrolling through, like they had thousands, hundreds of books up for auction, and so I was just scrolling through everything they had, and I was like, $1, hell yeah, click, add it to my shopping cart. And then when I got done, I was up to like 60 books, and I looked at my price, and it was up to like $150, but it came out to be a lot more than it should have been, like $15 for shipping for all those books, but it came out to be like $60 or $70 for shipping, and I was like, wait, no, it wasn't $60 or $70. Sorry, it was up to like $40, and I was like, what? So it just wasn't. Things weren't adding up right. I think it was a mistake in somebody's system. And I blame that mostly on eBay, not on the people selling the books. So anyway, I'll show you the 6 books that I got from them. I went through and I deleted a bunch of stuff from them, but I may have shown these, but I'm not sure. This is Chew number 33, and it's a good book, but honestly, the whole Navy guys dressed up like the village people is a little bit too much for me. Issue 34. Now, I really like these books. They're great. I like Chew a lot. And I got the New Avengers issue 15 because, where is his now? Frank Cho. Frank Cho is another one of the artists. As soon as I first saw his work in online, when he had Liberty Meadows online, I stumbled upon Liberty Meadows. Sorry, folks. Anyways, I stumbled upon that. and I was just like, wow. I just liked his work immediately. And then he started doing comic books, and I'm like, yeah, because he draws chicks pretty nice. Um, so I got it because it's a Frank Cho cover and a new Avengers, and I like Spider-Woman. So there's that. The next up, speaking of spiders, this is Spider-Man number 32, and it's a J. Scott Campbell cover. Again, these are like $1 or $1.25 because they were on sale. And then I have a really cool, well, in my opinion, a really cool book next. It's Wolverine Save the Tiger, and I think it's a one-shot, and it was done by Sam Keith. I really, back at the time, I didn't appreciate Sam Keith's artwork. It wasn't until The Mask came out that I started paying attention to and appreciating his work, and so I try to pick up his stuff from Marvel. I do remember when I was a kid, I remembered seeing his work on Wolverine in Marvel Presents, I think, or Marvel Preview. No, somebody out there tell me, you know what I'm talking about. It's when they split the book in half and gave half of its story to Wolverine, and the other half was usually somebody else. But I didn't appreciate it, so excuse me. I got on eBay a while ago, and I picked up a whole run of those books from issue 1 up to quite a bit. So I'll bust those out one day and show them to you. This next book I got is, I mentioned Skyman. I showed Skyman a little bit ago, and how I thought it was related to Captain Midnight. So I got Captain Midnight issue number 1. Stupid glare. Oh, there we go. I don't know anything about this guy other than he's in this suit that he can fly in. So I'm eager to figure that one out. And now this is the most recent eBay purchase I've made, and I just got it today. And it's Avengers issue number 19, but it's the variants. This opens up. There's some more. You know what? Give me a second. I'll show you. Now this was done for the. Okay, so yeah, that's the cover, the front and back to this variant for Avengers 19. So I'm almost done showing you. Yeah, it's for the 50th anniversary of the Avengers. Now, they also did more. I think they did 5 more covers or variants for this issue. And I happen to have got them in this list. So this is, the Silver Age Avengers, which I really like a lot. Then this is probably the 70s or the Bronze Age, early 80s. So you've got Vision, Scarlet Witch, Wonder Man, Captain America, and Hawkeye. And you can tell also, other than who's in it, but you remember the way they did the titles. They're doing the logo in that era for each one of these. So then the 80s era Avengers. So you got Iron Man in a different costume, and we got Captain Marvel in there, Mockingbird, yeah, Quasar, She-Hulk. So yeah, I really like that. And then this is probably the worst, the one I like least. And I even don't like the way that they used to do their title there too. And then they threw in a regular edition of issue 19. So the thing about the 50th anniversary thing is, I was kind of disappointed. I really like the covers, and I really like the concept. I'm just disappointed that, I'm just disappointed that DC did it first with the 75th anniversary of Superman. I feel like Marvel's lagging behind on innovation a little bit in some of their variant cover ideas. Next thing you know, we're probably going to get 3D covers of, some Marvel books, which be really, really cool, but at the same time, it kind of makes me feel like they're lagging behind DC as far as their innovation and their ideas in that department. So that's it for my newest weekly haul. So like, favorite, subscribe, and most importantly, keep reading comics and having a good day. Bye.